Good morning, pilgrims. It is day 13 on the Camino Francés in reverse, and it is 30 degrees Fahrenheit right now, meaning minus something Celsius. It is cold, cold, cold here in Rebanal. What time is it already? That's my alarm going off. 7:30. That's right. Everybody woke up super early. The place is Donativo. They actually had like a very basic breakfast, but I want something else. So I just left my donation, got all my gear together, and out the door I went. It hasn't been this cold in a long time on this Camino. So I have all my layers on, my puffy jacket and my fleece jacket. I'm about to put on my gloves. But the good thing is that I'm going downhill, meaning it's gonna warm up. It's gonna warm up fast. Looking for a place to have breakfast? You think this bar may have something? We'll see. It's gonna be a great day. It's gonna be an easy 25 kilometer day to Astorga, a great town on the Camino. Can't wait to get there. I'm staying at the same place where I stayed in 2017, and I haven't stayed there since. And I do remember that they offer massages, and I'd be overdue after walking for 44 days. We'll see. Maybe I'd treat myself to one. My God, am I glad to see the sun and feel the heat in my face. It's so cold right now. But I found a cafe that was open, the last one in town for me, the first one for you. And I went inside and I had a hot café con leche, and I even asked the guy to warm up the croissant. Yes. Now today, more than ever, I guess, I don't envy those people that are going the right direction. They're heading to Santiago because they have to climb, I think it's about 500 meters of elevation gain. It's gonna be cold up there today, probably. And, walking into the sunrises, they're nice. They're nice. You get over it really quickly because the rest of the day, then it's just baking. I can't imagine doing it in the summer like that when it gets really hot and then having the sun constantly in your face. With the umbrella and the hat, I can manage, but that's always an obstacle that blocks your view. So I'm gonna be walking on this backcountry road now. I think I have like 12 kilometers that I can follow it. I know the Camino zigzags right now is right there with all those wooden crosses on the fence and the spooky dead forest as it was in 2017. And it's gonna be a nice descent, man. Yes, it is welcome for sure. After spending so many days, so many weeks, I would say about 3 weeks, I have to do the math, since I entered Galicia on the Camino San Javier, well, just before leaving Castilla and León, like now, started the climb, and then it's been up and down the whole time. So days like today are welcome when you have like a nice descent. It's not even steep. And then, of course, La Meseta is gonna be something different altogether. I don't know how the elevation profile is gonna favor me on the Meseta. As we know, it's pretty flat, but there's some sections where you do get to climb. I do remember sections, for example, when you're going down into Santo Domingo de la Calzada and you see the town in the distance, that's like a nice descent. On the way back, it might be interesting. But then again, when you're going from Santo Domingo to Grañón, you're climbing. And for me, it's gonna be the opposite. So we get a little bit of both, as always. Warm me up, baby. Warm me up for now. Most of the traffic that I'm seeing are either luggage transfer companies or taxis. It is 9 o'clock in the morning and I've been walking already for an hour and a half. seeing pilgrims coming my way. Those are probably the ones that are starting, for example, in the next town, which I can already see, El Ganso, or maybe even Santa Catalina. I think after that, the ones from Astorga, those are the ones that I'm gonna see probably around lunchtime. Oh man, it's warming up. It's been warming slowly, and the layers are starting to come off. I already took off my gloves and took off the hood. And as soon as I make it to El Ganso, the puffy jacket is coming right off.
So what's your name?
Met a subscriber,
Marcel.
Marcel from Brazil. He's starting his own channel, vlogging the Camino. And I also met another pilgrim that asked me why was I going back. You know, I noticed that at the beginning, let's say from Santiago to Sarria, it was mostly like a joke, and it was mostly you're going the wrong way. But the deeper I get into the Camino, meeting pilgrims that have been walking for a while now, they're just curious. It's not longer, oh, you're going the wrong way. There's a little more depth to their questions. You know, it just came to me that if you were to lay down the Camino de Santiago over the hero's journey, I know, I listen a lot to Joseph Campbell, The Power of Myth, and The Hero with a Thousand Faces. And if I were to do that with the Camino de Santiago, the Cruz de Fierro lays perfectly at the seizure of the sword. Yes, no wonder it is at the highest point on the Camino. You really had to climb up there and work your way up, seize it, to slay the dragon that's coming up ahead, which I think will probably be the climb to Ocebredo and entering a new world, Galicia. That will be the physical journey of the hero's journey. And the spiritual journey will be the ritual where you just leave the pebble and you leave that burden, you take it off your shoulders. Oh, that frees you, man. That frees you for the new world that's coming up ahead. I don't know, it just sounds so poetic and meaningful. Maybe that has something to do with the popularity of the Camino Francés. I don't think I've said this many buen caminos and buenos dias since the section from Santiago to Sarria, which is kind of worrying. I think I just definitely hit the Astorga bubble. It happened in the town of Santa Catalina, where I stopped for my second breakfast of the day at 10:30. I went for a slice of tortilla española and a small café con leche. While I was there, like a fly on the wall, I noticed that there are a lot of fresh faces and clean clothes, meaning a lot of them are starting here or started today in Astorga. And these are the people that cannot do the entire Camino, or they're just doing sections of it. And we're like 250 kilometers from that stone marker that I saw back there, away from Santiago. So that's good, that's good. So 10 kilometers to Astorga, and I can see the town already from here. It's incredible how quickly the landscape can change from the mountainous terrain to this flatlands now with the puffy trees and the hills. And when I was flying the drone, I was like, wait a second, this looks familiar. And of course it is. We're not far away from the town of Granjas, where I split off from the Via de la Plata to do the Camino San Javier. So if I would have kept walking up north in like, I think it's like 4 days, I would have hit Astorga, where I'm gonna be staying today. And then when you get there, you have an option. You can do the Camino Francés to Santiago. So some people do that instead of taking the San Javier. They have more support, of course, and they'll hit the crowds. Another option would be to make a right turn and go to León for a couple of days, then go up north following the Camino de San Salvador to Oviedo, and then from Oviedo you can make a left turn and do the Primitivo, or you can continue on north and then do the Norte. So maybe, just maybe, I'll have some company for the next 2 days. Let's hope that's the case. And here we are, made it to Astorga at noon. And I was just thinking, you know, I saw the city out in the horizon. Very nice approach, by the way. But every time that I enter Astorga, I try to do it by those medieval walls, by that park. Oh my God, it's such an emblematic shot. I got it for the first time when I did it on an e-bike, and I've been repeating it ever since. So, since I'm coming into the city from the opposite side, there's nothing. I just have to go through like the suburbs and enter the old town. Very anticlimactic for today's stage. So I started thinking, I know that there's another wall on my right hand side, so I'm gonna take a backcountry road here, just avoid the last stretch, trying to get to the other side where the Via de la Plata enters Astorga. And there's a gate there, and there's the wall. Oh, I think that's more appropriate for today's stage. And to just reconnect with the Via de la Plata, which I left it behind a while back, it's gonna be a special moment. Oof. Got here super early. You can tell that the elevation profile was 100% on my favor. The only climb I had today was going over the high weight on the overpass. Oh wow, man, that was a great call to follow that dirt path and completely bypass the suburbs and seeing the city from a different perspective. At the end, when I entered, it wasn't through the Golden Gate, it was more like a bridge, but still, it's nice. And now I'm in this little park right here, gonna walk on the wall all the way to the Albergue. Nice. You know, once I make it to the cities, I am no longer a pilgrim walking the Camino in reverse. I just get mixed in with all the other pilgrims and I go incognito. All right, let's check in. I'm not even gonna take a shower. I'm gonna go out and have something to eat for lunch. And I also wanna visit the cathedral and I wanna visit the museum. So many things to do, so little time. Well, here we are at the Albergue, and I have found memories of this place. This was the place where I stayed in 2017, and I remember it all too well because of its unique design. I was actually staying on this room over here. Now I'm on a different one, and it's all deja vu all over again. Where am I? I'm in this last room, number 3, and it seems like I'm the only one here so far, but it's early. Most of the people that are coming here are either coming from Villa de Mazarife, the alternative, or San Miguel, which is where I'm heading tomorrow. For the first time, I will be following the official route, the one that follows the main road, because it's been in the back of my mind. I never seen it. I've done the section through Mazarife so many times that I want to try something new. So we'll do that tomorrow. I got the corner bunk bed, the one at the bottom. There's only this outlet over here. So I'm trying to be as close as possible because if not, it will be impossible to charge my things. So perfect timing and perfect albergue. Another one of those items that I wouldn't do the Camino without is my extension cord. It just gives me all the freedom that I need just to bring the electricity to me. So what I do is I try to charge everything all at once as fast as possible, especially now since I'm the only one here. If I can charge all my gear and then put it away so that nobody really sees it, then the faster I can do that, the better. I have this charger that I bought here, so it's the European prong. I have a splitter that I got in Portugal in 2019 when I did the Camino Portuguese for the first time. And then I also have in here somewhere, yes, a power bank that gives me 2 extra ports to charge. And there it goes. Charge everything as fast as possible. And then at night, I just keep one of them just to keep my phone at 100% so that when I leave in the morning, everything is nice, filled, and it gives me the power that I need to film all the videos, that you guys like so much. Yeah. Time to charge, man. ABC, always be charging. Always. All right, let's go visit the cathedral now and enjoy the rest of the afternoon. It's 2:30 in the afternoon, and what a difference in temperature between this morning and now. 18 degrees, I don't believe it. I'm doing laundry at the albergue, went out to get a bite to eat, and then when I was by the main square, I met 2 subscribers, so that marks 3. This is incredible. It's like every day I get to meet you guys, and in a way, this is the best way possible. Doing it in reverse gives me a chance to meet as many of you as possible, the ones that are doing the Camino. And wow, man, I was actually gonna take a rest day in this town. I have made a reservation in this hotel right across the street from the palace and the cathedral, but then I canceled it a few weeks ago because I opted instead to just do short stages and not take rest days. So yeah, I was gonna take a day off here, you know. Last year I passed by with the group that I was guiding, and we visited the palace. We went to the chocolate museum, and we even went to the cathedral. So I got extra footage that I'm gonna share with you guys, because I haven't actually shown you anything from that trip. That was the only trip, the only time on the Camino Francés when I wasn't daily vlogging, and just it gave me a different perspective to how you guys actually do the Camino versus how I do it. These are the walls that I was mentioning to you guys, and can you believe that this path right here is not the actual Camino? I mean, this is the way that we should enter Astorga, but it's not. They make you enter earlier in the city, take you to the municipal albergue, and then you kind of have to go through the city center to see the palace and the cathedral. But man, I really love this section over here. I did it for the first time when I had the e-bike, and I've been doing it ever since. Tomorrow I'm gonna exit this way. The lighting will be even better because the sun is gonna be hitting the wall, and even if it takes just a little bit longer, it's just a great way to leave the city behind. I love it. I'm leaving Plaza Mayor after having a dinner with a group of pilgrims. It's been crazy. My room filled up. Let me go back a little bit. 2 Puerto Ricans, 1 Spaniard that grew up in Australia, and he's a YouTuber, and he recognized me as well. So the 4 of us went out for some drinks. I decided to go for a salad and a tinto de verano, and then all the pilgrims that they're walking with just kept passing by and having drinks one after the other. One of those great experiences that I get to enjoy only once. This afternoon I visited the cathedral, just went in there to see it, did the tour. Oh man, so many things. I had ice cream as well. That's how it goes. So tomorrow, of course, I say goodbye to Astorga, and enter the plains. I'm gonna be doing a route that I have never done before. Look at all these spots over here. And it's gonna be a new day for me right after Hospital de Orbigo with that medieval bridge that I like so much. From then on, it's gonna be new all the way to León for the next couple of days. So I wanna thank today's trail angel of the day, Andrew Cooper. Thank you so much, sir. And I'll see you guys tomorrow bright and early, because right now I'm thinking about getting the drone and getting a couple of shots. See you tomorrow.